Hey everybody, in this video we are going to talk about degenerative disc disease. Ooh, sounds scary, right? I know. But we're going to talk about what's fact, what's myth, is it good, is it bad, is it painful? I'm going to answer all of those questions in this video for you today because it's a very common thing that I see a lot of people come in with questions about. My name's Rob Drenning, I'm a physical therapist. Thanks for checking out this channel. If you find this helpful, if this information is useful to you, please like and subscribe. It just really helps me out and I really appreciate you. So let's do a quick anatomy review first. The discs in our spine, so we have vertebrae, the bones in our spine. In between each vertebrae, there's a disc. And there's a disc at every level in between each bone in our spine. And what it does is it kind of acts like a shock absorber, really, like a cushion for your back. It has fluid and some other things in it that it gives us just nice support in between each vertebrae, each bone in our spine. So to have degenerative disc disease, how is that diagnosed? It's actually really simple. It's an X-ray or an MRI. They measure the space in between the two bones. If it's small, it gets labeled as degenerative disc disease. That's it. Okay, sometimes it's very subjective. Radiologists read your report. Oh yeah, it looks a little small to me. Degenerative discs. Other times they use a disc height index and have more formal measures, but it's something that's just related to the height of the disc based on what they see on an X-ray or on an MRI. Okay, so is that bad? It sounds bad. Degenerative disc disease, it sounds like some entity that's kind of crawling through you like a disease, right? And no one wants to have a disease. So to have that label, it sounds really bad. But we know that it's actually not. There have been a lot of studies come out on this. One of the biggest ones was in 2015. They looked at over 3,000 people who had no pain whatsoever. And what they found was over the age of 20, people were already showing degenerative discs. Okay, 37% of people over the age of 20 have degenerative disc disease. 96% of people over the age of 80 have it. Okay, and it goes up in every decade in between. So if you're over 40, over 50, you and most of your friends have it. It's just some of you know and some of you don't. If you haven't had an X-ray or an MRI, you're not going to know. But remember, this study is all people who have no pain. So think about that. Over a third of people in their 20s have degenerative disc disease. Isn't that crazy? And as we get older, it just goes up from there. Disc bulges are the same. 30% of people in their 20s, 84% of people in their 80s, and goes up stepwise every decade in between. It's basically a wrinkle on the inside. Okay, you can have degenerative disc disease, you can have that label and not actually have any pain. Okay, so to answer, is it bad? Most of the time, no. Okay, it doesn't have to be. It can be. In real severe cases, the disc can be a source of pain. That is certainly true. But most of the time, it's actually not. So when you get that X-ray, that MRI report, it sounds a little scary, but you'd have to correlate it with your healthcare provider to the symptoms that you're actually feeling. Okay? The other question that we get a lot is it reversible? Can you reverse degenerative disc disease? And as far as the space between the bones, the answer is generally no. Once that's there, it's there. You can't reverse Mother Nature. It's just a general aging process. Okay? But what you can reverse is if you have pain associated with degenerative disc disease, you can reverse that pain. We know from that study we just talked about, just because you have it doesn't mean it's painful. So if you have symptoms with it, that's reversible. And I'll show you how. I'll show you the best exercises in the next video coming up. The other question we get a lot is, I have degenerative disc disease, it sounds bad, what do I need to avoid? Generally speaking, nothing. Okay, degenerative disc disease is like any arthritis, like any degenerative process. It happens gradually over time. You don't pick something up heavy, feel pain in your back, and suddenly have degeneration in there. That's not how it works. It's a slow build-up over time. Nothing you do from one specific activity is going to cause degenerative disc disease. Running, all of those things. If you're a runner, you don't have to stop for fear of degenerative disc disease later on in life. None of those things have been shown to be true. Okay, lifting is another common thing. One thing we have to be careful with degenerative discs is some people, when it's very severe, you want to avoid prolonged static holds in a very end-ranged position. I've seen people where their discs are just gone and they can't do a lot of yoga poses because it hurts coming back out of it. It's not going to further damage anything. That's not the reason. It just hurts to do that. So those prolonged end range, bent, or extended positions, those can be things to avoid, but you'll know because if they hurt, then you'll avoid them anyway. But lifting in particular is like one of those other things that you can lift and do what you need to do, and it's not going to make the degenerative process worse. It's not going to suddenly give you degenerative disc disease. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Those are some of the most common questions I get here in the clinic for anybody with back pain, because almost all of us come in with our imaging and it shows that on there, but usually it's not related to the pain that you're feeling. So what do you do about it? I'm going to share that with you. Like I mentioned in the next video, I'm going to share the best exercises to help hydrate your discs and bring nutrients into them, whether you have degenerative disc disease or not. So click on my picture to subscribe to the channel and click on the link to check out that other video. Thank you.